In the heart of the city stood St. Helena's Hospital, an edifice that bore the weight of history within its aged walls. Dr. Adrian Clark, a young but highly esteemed physician, had always prided himself on his rational approach to medicine. But nothing in his medical training could have prepared him for the enigma that arrived on a cold November night. The patient was found unconscious near the old Haraway grounds, a historical site shrouded in local folklore and tales of ancient rites. The man, appearing to be in his 30s, had no visible injuries, yet he lay in a deep, unexplainable coma. His identity remained a mystery with no belongings or identification. Dr. Clark was intrigued. As he examined the patient in the dim light of the ICU, he noticed something peculiar, a series of intricate symbols etched beneath the bed. Unfamiliar and eerily precise, these symbols seemed to resonate with an uncanny energy. In the days following the stranger's arrival, a palpable sense of unease settled over the ward. Other patients began to report disturbing nightmares, all describing a shadowy figure that whispered in an unknown tongue. Nurses spoke of equipment malfunctioning inexplicably, and the lights in the ward flickered sporadically. Driven by a blend of concern and curiosity, Dr. Clark began to delve into the hospital's archives. There, buried in dust-covered tomes and patient records, he uncovered references to an ancient medical cult, the Aesculapian Order, which had supposedly practiced in the area centuries ago. Their symbol, he discovered with a chilling realization, matched the markings beneath the patient's bed. Determined to unravel the mystery, Dr. Clark extended his shifts, spending night after night researching and keeping a vigilant watch over the comatose stranger. Then, one fateful night, the inexplicable became reality. The clock had just struck 3 a.m. when a sudden, icy chill filled the room. The machines beeped erratically, and the lights dimmed to a near darkness. A dense, shadowy mist began to form around the patient's bed. Paralyzed with a mix of fear and fascination, Dr. Clark watched as the mist solidified into the figure of a robed entity, its face obscured by a hood. The entity turned towards Dr. Clark, and in a voice that seemed to echo from an otherworldly void, it spoke of ancient rituals and forbidden knowledge, of a pact made long ago that bound the patient's soul to the Aesculapian Order. It demanded release, a release that could only be granted by the one who had unearthed its secret. Heart-pounding, Dr. Clark realized what he must do. He began to recite the symbol, each utterance resonating with the entity. As the final symbol was spoken, a blinding light engulfed the room, and a deafening silence followed. When the light receded, the patient and the entity were gone, as though they had never existed. The ward returned to normal, the night's events seemingly erased from everyone's memory, but his. Dr. Clark, forever changed, could never view the world in the same light again. The experience had left him with an unshakable belief in the supernatural, a belief that haunted his every step. He continued his practice, but the echoes of that night lingered, a constant reminder of the unseen mysteries that lurked just beyond the veil of reality.
In the heart of the sprawling Greenwood National Park, where the trees whispered ancient secrets and the winds carried songs of the lost, Maya, a seasoned security guard, patrolled the wilderness. A guardian of nature, protector of wandering souls, she had seen strange occurrences, nothing like what was about to unfold. It began with a simple report. A group of campers had not returned from their expedition. Familiar with every crooked tree and hidden trail, Maya set out to find them. As night fell, a chilling mist enveloped the forest, silencing the nocturnal chorus. Venturing deeper, Maya felt an unsettling presence. The trees leaned in, branches twisting unnaturally. The air thickened with foreboding, broken only by her footsteps and faint, elusive whispers. Suddenly, in a moonlit clearing, Maya discovered the campers' abandoned gear, scattered as if left in haste. Strange symbols etched into the trees pulsed under the moonlight, sending a shiver down her spine. Maya felt watched, but saw nothing. The whispering grew, words just out of reach. Her radio crackled to life, a faint plea for help echoing through the static. Near the abandoned gear, Maya noticed a set of footprints leading away. She followed them, her instincts guiding her through the dense forest. The trail led her to a decrepit cabin, hidden away from any marked path. Inside, she found the campers, huddled together, speaking of moving shadows, luring whispers. As they prepared to leave, a dense fog rolled in. The whispers turned into a cacophony. Shadowy figures emerged from the mist, flickering bad television signals. Fear gripped the group as Maya led them through the labyrinth of trees. The shadowy entities pursued, their whispers now angry and frustrated. The group ran for their lives, hearts pounding, not daring to look back. After a seemingly endless chase, as dawn broke, the shadows retreated. They emerged from the woods, weary but alive. The campers' stories were dismissed, but Maya knew the truth. Back at her post, Maya pondered the events. The park held more secrets than imagined. In the following days, Maya was haunted by nightmares, filled with those whispers as if they were trying to tell her something. She began to think that maybe those whispers were trapped souls, trying to ask for her help to release them. This realization deepened her understanding of her role. She was not just a protector of people, but also a guardian against unseen forces in Greenwood. After the harrowing events in Greenwood National Park, Maya's days were overshadowed by an uneasy calm. The forest, bathed in daylight, appeared serene, yet Maya sensed an underlying disquiet. Her connection to the land, a legacy of her Native American heritage, made her acutely aware of the forest's hidden depths. Her grandmother, a respected witch in their community, had passed down ancient knowledge and a deep respect for the mystical forces of nature. Determined to uncover the truth, Maya ventured into the woods again as night cloaked the sky. The forest transformed under the moon's gaze, whispering secrets in the wind. Maya walked the familiar paths, guided by intuition honed through her grandmother's teachings. As the moon rose, the whispers returned, now imploring for help. "Help us," they echoed, a chorus of ancient, sorrowful voices. Maya's heart quickened, not with fear, but with a resolve to aid these lost souls. Her grandmother's stories had spoken of spirits bound to the earth, and Maya felt a duty to help them find peace. Drawn deeper into the woods, Maya came upon a hidden grove, shrouded in mist. An ancient stone stood at its center, covered in symbols that resonated with the teachings of her grandmother. The air around the stone was colder, charged with a palpable energy. Maya knew what she had to do. Drawing upon the wisdom passed down from her grandmother and the old texts she had studied, she prepared to perform a ritual to release the trapped spirits. It was a task her grandmother was too old to undertake, so Maya stood alone as the guardian of this sacred task. Under the moonlight, Maya began the ritual, her voice steady and confident. The stone responded, glowing faintly as the whispers swirled around her. Each voice told a tale of sorrow and longing, yearning for release. As the ritual reached its climax, a brilliant light burst forth, bathing the grove in an ethereal glow. One by one, the voices faded into silence, their words of gratitude lingering in the air. Exhausted but at peace, Maya watched as the grove returned to normal. The forest was silent, but it was a comforting silence, filled with the tranquility of released spirits. Maya knew her journey with the supernatural was far from over. Greenwood had revealed its deeper mysteries, and she had become its guardian, bridging the seen and the unseen, armed with the wisdom of her ancestors and her own unwavering courage.